This is Jamie Boyman, Longview. I am here at Fire Station 2 over on Eastman Road with a firefighter. Unbelievable. There's a firefighter at the fire station. Unbelievable. But today we're going to be talking about workout equipment. This is James Cooper. He's a captain. And you were kind of put in charge, I guess, of getting some of this new workout equipment, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I was given kind of the nod from Chief Stillman about, I guess, going on 2 years ago now. And we worked closely with the grant writer for the city, and he helped put us a package together for a grant called the AFG grant. And with that, we were able to get some very high level equipment. I believe it was around $300 something thousand, and I'm not really sure how much the city had to pay on that thing, but I know that the grant helped pay for a lot of that. And I believe
I think the city paid for like 10%, and then the grant was like all the rest of it. So
yes, sir. Yeah, so that sounds right. I didn't want to speak out of turn. I think you're right. It's about 10% of what they had to pay. But we've had some guys joke around that because we're still in the process of getting all this equipment back out to the stations, and some guys were saying that we've got like a D1 level equipment now, which is funny because the company that we used is Soren X. The guy that owns it, his name is Bert Soren, and it's exercise equipment. And so they outfit a lot of D1 level colleges, a few famous guys. They've outfitted like Jocko Willink. I don't know if guys know who that is, and then Cam Haynes, who's a bow hunter. I'm sure around this area guys know who those guys are. But with this, it's going to help us out a lot. I think that I'm not sure if anybody else knows or if it's very widespread, but cardiovascular disease is still the #1 killer for firemen. And what we spoke about earlier about the cardiovascular system, I think it needs to be #1. We gotta have strength, but we gotta work on our cardiovascular system to help us perform our job effectively and efficiently. And with the runner, the bike that I'm kind of standing next to right here, the rower, and the skier, I think we're going to be able to do that because every station in the city of Longview, all 8 stations, got this same exact, I call it a package. So we got a power rack, we got a full set of dumbbells, 5 to 100 pounds, and a rack to sit them on. Depending on how many guys are at the station or assigned to the station, it's how many barbells they got and how many bumper plates and steel plates they got. Everybody got the runner and the bike and the rower, and it's just an amazing opportunity. I think it's kind of a once in a career type thing that this actually happened. I'm very thankful to be a part of the process. This is my passion. I have really enjoyed working out, and maybe I didn't really work out that much until I became a fireman. And we all take an oath whenever we come into this position, and it is of my opinion that we need to be physically fit, mentally fit, spiritually fit every time we come to work.
Yeah,
and
well, that absolutely makes sense because especially in East Texas, it's so hot, and you have to be prepared to fight that fire for who knows how long.
Yes, sir.
And so the longer it takes you to get winded, the better you're going to be at your job.
Correct. Yes, sir. And like so. Working out is just a small piece of the puzzle, right? We have to be able to move and do our job effectively, but we also need to be hydrated. We also need to eat the right foods, and that's something that is a culture change, and I think it's happening in Longview, and I think most of the stations are trying to get on a better nutrition track, and we eat every meal together, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I don't know if most people know our schedule, but we work 24 hours a day. So I got to work at 7 o'clock this morning. I won't leave till 7 o'clock tomorrow. And then I do that every third day. We've got 3 shifts. So we're here
like
for 24 hours.
48,
Yes, sir.
48. Yeah.
Yes, sir. So we're here for a long time, and who knows what kind of calls are going to come in, right? So we could respond to an EMS call. We go to a fire. We go to a wreck. We have to be prepared for whatever comes our way. And having a gym or a place where we can be physically fit and active helps us be prepared for those situations when they arise, and for us to be a little more on point with the care or the decisions that we have to make on scene.
Yeah, that totally makes sense. I mean, and you could have to leave at any moment. So, with that in mind, why don't you show me this running machine here? This is a different kind of treadmill, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So this is a non-motorized treadmill. I kind of looked into this because there's really no maintenance involved with this. I think the website, it's an assault runner, and I think they say it's like 150,000 miles that you can run on this treadmill without having to do any maintenance.
Wow. Thought
that was great because it's fireman proof. You know, sometimes we're a bunch of guys out here that may not be hammering on it pretty hard. So that was kind of what I went with this. It is a different type of running because you're the motor. I do want to show you.
Yeah. Let's take a look.
So I hope I don't fall back this thing. So they shaped like a bead, you kind of see, but I'm the motor essentially, providing how the belt moves.
Now, have you done this one before?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Okay.
yeah.
Just checking.
Yeah. So if I move up on the treadmill, you can kind of see where my feet are landing, closer to those bars. I want to be moving faster. So I'm just at a walk right now. So this says I'm going about 3 miles an hour, which is kind of a normal walk for me. And so if I start speeding up, I start opening my stride up, and I'm moving toward the front of the treadmill, and I'm going a little faster. So if I want to go slower, I can move my feet back, shorten my stride, and go back into a walk.
Well, that's something else. I mean, you could just run as fast as you can take it.
You could go as fast as you want to until you get shot off the back of this thing. Yeah.
Yeah, dismounting is probably a bit of an issue once you get that thing really going.
Oh, I can imagine so. I haven't got it that. I'm a little bit older now, so I'm like a little more worried about me falling down and hurting myself.
Older and wiser.
Here we go, right.
Because you've had the injuries. So.
Yes, sir. Yeah, if I was like 20, maybe I would go as hard as I could, but
yeah,
right
this
now.
would be a weird injury, though, if you fell on this side.
Yeah.
I mean, as a matter of fact, if you can look back here, we can see a guy who's laying here that just got off of the treadmill.
Oh, yeah.
And as you can see, it didn't go real well for him.
Yeah, his legs are somewhere up in there, I guess.
they're up there.
Yeah.
Well, that's great. And so, you got a rowing machine over here that's new.
Yes,
I
sir.
guess.
Yeah. So, rowing machine. This is kind of more the functional fitness space of things. Guys do like a HIIT cardio, like a high intensity interval training. You can do that. We've also had a few guys row marathons. I've done that a couple times.
Wow.
And that is a long 3 hours of sitting on this thing and rowing.
3 hours.
It was pretty gnarly. So, but this is a great alternative if you have maybe a knee injury or something like that, where running is not comfortable for you.
Yeah. So it's low impact then.
Yes, sir. Yeah, low impact. I think a lot of heavier guys like it. I kind of like it. I'm about 230 pounds, and this helps my joints, right? So it's just a little bit of a slide.
Oh, yeah.
So for those of you guys that have seen it before, with these big boots on here. And so this is supposed to mimic rowing, like collegiate rowing. I guess. So in the water, obviously. And the dampener on this side, the actual flywheel here, you can actually make it easier to pull or lighter. So you get a few more meters out of it each pull, or a few more calories, depending on what you're counting. So you do a lot of different workouts with it.
I guess change the resistance on it.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And then this ski machine you got over here, this is cool. I've never really seen anything like
Yes,
that.
sir. Yeah. So he's been out for a little bit, and like we were talking about with the functional type fitness. Maybe mentioned it earlier about some of the moves that we do on a fire ground. If we're doing like overhaul, if we're searching for a fire, doing inspection holes, we have a lot of overhead reaching and pulling. So this can mimic that. It's not designed just for being a fireman and doing firefighter moves. I have one at my house. This is my personal one I brought up here before we got the new ones. And it helps with back endurance and honestly like a little bit of mobility because you get a good stretch coming up and coming back down. And it's a good cardiovascular kicker too. So we put these into the HIIT cardio as well. Or if you just want to stay on this thing, I've never done a marathon ski because that sounds terrible to me.
That sounds like
Yeah.
a backbreaker,
Yeah,
really.
so,
But this is like, it's like poling.
Yes, sir. Yeah,
When you're skiing and you're having to push with your pole.
Right, so skier, it's like a cross country mimicking. So kind of start up here, same flywheel as that rower. You're coming down, reaching up. And doing that for any period of time. Not too hard.
Yeah,
First couple reps,
that's pretty great, but you're just not going anywhere.
Right, you're just kind of sitting there, just kind of spinning your wheels.
But you're ready for
spinning the
cross-country
flywheel.
skiing. Yeah, but I guess this mimics, using a pole, pulling down the ceiling or something
Yes, sir.
like that.
Or Texas cross-country skiing. There's a lot that goes on.
Yeah, a lot. You got to get
right.
somebody to make the snow first.
Right,
but,
yeah.
Other than that. And then you have some regular weightlifting equipment as well, right?
Yes, sir. Yeah. So these are plyometric boxes. So they're actually, so we got these. These are padded boxes because we used to just make them ourselves out of wood. And if you, let's say you're doing like a box jump, like jumping up and landed on here, with wood, if you miss a step, you can scrape your shin.
Oh, yeah.
And it turns into a bloody mess, and that is just not a fun thing to ride up. So these are padded. It's real high density foam, and honestly, these things are heavy. Like you should see us trying to haul these things back over here.
That's a workout in
whenever
itself.
We first got them, yes, sir.
Yeah.
So we can actually stack these on top of each other. I don't think we're jumping that high, but we can stack them on top of each other if we wanted to mimic like getting over a fence or something like that if we had to.
Well, and so all this stuff is like you're installing it today, right? Putting it out.
Yes, sir. Yeah. So we got over the last few shifts, I've been able to, with the help of my crew and some of the other crews, because it's a lot of heavy stuff. You can see the dumbbell rack behind me. Each one of these dumbbells came in a box and in a big wooden container. So we loaded those up onto trailers and we delivered them out to the stations. And that was, those are some long days. These guys really put up with me because I was like, I think we were going for probably 10, 12 hours a day, just loading up all this weight you see here and bringing it out to the stations.
Wow.
So
But it is, it's just, it seems to me it'd be very important to be in the best shape you possibly can.
Yes, sir.
Fight fire.
Yes, sir.
Or deal with wrecks or whatever.
Yes, sir. Yeah. If as a citizen, if I have an emergency, I would want someone that looks capable stepping out of the truck, coming to rescue me, and looks confident. That's my personal opinion, and I think all this stuff you kind of see here will help us achieve that. Of course, it takes an individual to make that change and actually go out there and do it, right?
Right.
So
you have to have some dedication, and then I guess sometimes you'll work out in the bunker gear too, right?
Definitely. As we were speaking about earlier, so we're talking about the heat in Texas. It's already getting hot during the days, right? So hydration, nutrition, and physical exertion, we have to find. It's in my opinion too. This is my opinion. We need to find our limits in a gym setting versus on a fire scene where we potentially could cause more of an emergency. So here in a setting here, we can kind of take care of each other and like know when to tap out. Knowing when we can tap out is a very high importance, especially when we are doing some kind of emergency. God forbid we ever have to go in and save someone out of a house and make a grab, which has happened multiple times here in Longview over the past few years. We need to be physically able to do it and know that we can do it too. And
I guess I know your limits.
yes, sir. And the boosting confidence that we get from coming in here and working out, I think will help us achieve those goals if the need arises.
All right, good deal. Well, thank you so much,
Yes,
James.
sir. Yeah.
Appreciate you, man.
Yeah, thanks for coming out.
And I can't believe we made it all the way through this without getting interrupted. No tone out
Hey, you're right.
yet.
Yeah.
Of course, I'm not quite done shooting, so I probably shouldn't have said that.
Yeah,
out loud.
no, it's okay. It's okay. Well, as soon as we pack up, we'll probably get it going. So
You'll probably
be all
shut.
right.
All right. Thanks again, man. And so, just wanted to give you guys a look at some of the new equipment that they got, and how some of it is actually specific for firefighting, and the importance of being a fit firefighter.
Did you bring your gear? Bring some workout stuff? You gonna work out with us?
Yeah, I gotta go.
Okay.